and welcome to my channel. My name is Caravella, and if you have mature skin, you're at the right place. I am 55 years old. I was looking for new makeup, and I came across Seint Beauty Makeup. It's this right here. Yeah, this makeup is basically the best thing for mature skin. It is cream-based. It is so fabulous. I mean, I'm telling you, this makeup has changed everything for me. So stay tuned. I'm glad you're here, and let's get started. All right, so let's get into the makeup itself. The makeup that changed the way I look at myself and look at makeup, because this is new. This is not putting on layers and layers and layers of thick makeup to cover up all my things, because I have issues. Have aging skin, so I need something for my aging skin. All right, so we're gonna start right here. These three colors right here. Now, when I am your artist and I color match you, I will most likely, if you have skin like mine, which is not perfect, color match you to a color corrector. A color corrector is going to be darker than your main shade. You want it to be darker because your dark areas are going to only get toned down with a dark color. I know, it sounds crazy, but it works because you're putting color onto color. And so when you look at these colors, you're thinking, three colors, I don't understand. But basically, if you look in your bag of makeup right now, you'll see that you probably have something you're going to use as a color corrector. Maybe, maybe not. You're probably going to have a bottle or a compact or something with your main shade. And you're probably going to have some kind of a tube or something with your concealer. And that's basically what all these are. Okay, that's what this is representing. But you now have it in the palm of your hand. I know, so perfect. All right, so color corrector, main shade, and we call this a brightening shade. These are all under the heading on the website as highlights, not foundations. They're highlights. They're highlighting your face, okay? All right, so let's get going. Oh, these right here, all right, these are some of the bits that make Seint just that much better. We're talking contour. Yep, there's my contour, bronzer, and glow illuminator. I always pair these two together just because, really, if you're putting on bronzer, you might as well put a little extra glow on because, they're just like bread and butter. They go together. So let's get started on what to do with this face. All right, so you see my chin. It's always very red. There's always like broken capillaries. There's like a little rosacea going on there, okay? And then of course, this is always red. So I want to cover that up. And then of course I have some issues here, and then I have lines here. So what I do is I put my darker color where my little red bits are, but then I also kind of put the darker color where these lines are, because I don't want them to be too light because then they're going to show more. So it's all about the magic of makeup, right? But the thing is, you don't have to put on a ton of makeup. That's what makes this fabulous. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna be using two brushes today. Now you can do this with one brush, absolutely. A lot of people use this brush right here. Now I'm not gonna use this brush today because, well, it's not a brush that I use on the regular. It's a fine brush. It's called the 3D brush. This is technically called 3D makeup from Seint, but this brush is okay. It's fine, and you can get this brush and do your thing. And I will do a video on this brush exclusive. Just use this brush another day. But today we're going to use the blush and bronzer brush, and we're going to use the detail brush. These two are my favorite. They have this big fluffy end for bronzing, and then they have this end for my main shade, my blush, all the things. This right here, okay, it is fabulous. It just cups that cheekbone. It is so good for contour, especially if you're just starting out with contour. This is so good because you're just going to put it on the edge, and we'll go through that in a minute. And then it has this tiny little end. Look at this tiny little end. How fabulous is that? So that's going to get into like the little areas where it's hard to go. I'm going to use the blush and bronzer brush. I'm going to use the small end first, and I'm going to go into my color corrector. What I do is I color correct first. Now, again, this is a tap and go situation. This is not a, what is this, like a back and forth, a scoop, a swiping situation. No, it's more of a tap situation, especially if it's brand new. They're gonna be a lot softer. So we're gonna tap and we're gonna place on where I need that color corrector. Do you see how it's just diffusing everything? Okay, so mine's drier, so I'm gonna tap a couple times. But if yours is brand new, tap once, because that's gonna give you a lot. All right, so I'm just gonna tap like so. Okay, you can already see how it's diffusing the color right there. Yeah, it's good stuff, right? Okay, again, this is very little. So we're gonna go here, around the nose. And yes, this is a big brush, okay? It's not gonna get right on in there, but it's gonna give me a nice dusting of the color, and that's what I want. And then I'll go back in with that small brush. All right, so I'm going over the areas that I don't like. These are the areas that I don't want people to see. These are the areas that I'm gonna hide behind the tiniest bit of makeup because it's so pigmented. Now I also have some sunspots. I don't know, it just seems like every year some more spots come up. I mean, and I'm wearing sunscreen, but you know, I am a girl from the 80s, and you know, we weren't really great with sunscreen, so well, what are you gonna do? Okay, so I'm just gonna put this on like so. Now that we have that done, I feel like, okay, I'm more even Steven, a little bit, you know, a little bit. The things I don't like are all muted down. And then I can look at myself in the mirror, stand back and go, okay, not too bad. Isn't that amazing? Just taking away a little bit of something makes a bigger space look so much better. Now, let's go into the small brush. The small brush is going to help me because I'm still using my color corrector. I'm just going to use a tiny, tiny bit. And we're going to just go ahead and just go in those little areas that are a little tricky, okay? And you see how I'm swirling? Okay, we're swirling. Because that is going to blend this into your skin so you don't see it. We don't want to see this. And you know, this is a high texture area, at least for most people. So don't forget to exfoliate, especially when you're using cream makeup, because it's sitting on top of your skin, right? It's not going and soaking in like a lot of other, you know, foundations do. So you want to make sure you are exfoliating that skin that it is sitting on top of. You know what I even do? I even shave my face now. I'm sure you've heard of shaving your face. It is a fabulous thing, and no, it doesn't grow back dark or thick or weird or anything like that. You're just shaving peach fuzz off, and it's all good. Okay, I'm just going to go here. Now, this is also part of color correcting. So when you have some blue tones in here, you're just going to take the tiniest bit on your tiny little brush and just go over what you don't care for, okay? Just like so. And then I'll take a tiny bit of that color corrector and do this eye. But that's it. Easy peasy. Now you might have darker circles under your eyes. That's fine. But the concept and the technique is all the same. The discoloration on my eyes are not more here. There's a little here, but it's more here. I have a lot of veininess and redness and all the things going on. So again, I'm going to take just a little bit of my color corrector and I'm going to go in and I'm going to just zap all that away like so. Okay, you see, there we go. Makeup magic right there. Makeup magic, it's so good. So good. Okay, and I used very little, very, very little. Then I tap the tiniest, I can't even stress how tiny, but I'm gonna just do a tiny, tiny bit of this lightest color that I have just to go over it, just so my eye stays nice and light. But you see how much better that looks compared to this one, right? Oh, it's a game changer. I'm gonna do the other eye. So this is again the color corrector. If you've noticed, I've used this color corrector a lot. I use this color corrector probably more than my main shade. My main shade is just going to go where I feel like I need it. But this color corrector, but you may not have as many issues as I have. But I use this probably more. I go through this color more than I would go through my main shade. If that's crazy, I don't know. But it is true. It is a true story. Let me look at this mirror. Okay. Get in there, because you know those sockets always get dark. And sometimes those are hard to figure out and adjust. And it's not about putting more makeup on that area. It's about putting the right color on that area. All right, so don't forget that. Because when you start putting on too much cream makeup, you're going to see texture. You're not going to be a happy camper. So you want to make sure you put it on very, very little. And this, okay? Have your beauty sponge. This is our perfector sponge. It's the softest thing since, like, I don't even know. Softer than butter. But this is so soft. And what I did is I doubled it in size under the sink. Then I squeezed it out several times. And now it just sits there. So while I'm doing my makeup, it's drying out because you just want it to feel cold. You don't want it to feel wet. And that, my friend, is going to help, okay? That is what I go along under my eyes so we don't have any creasing. Make sure I don't put too much color corrector everywhere, especially right here, and all the things. This is your saving grace, especially when you're first starting out. But I use it all the time, and I've been doing this for years. So definitely make sure you have your beauty sponge and it's prepared properly. All right, let's continue on. All right, I think if I look here, I feel like I'm pretty good to go. Okay, pretty good to go. Let's go ahead and do our main shade. Now, our main shade is this right here. Now, my main shade is not going to be your main shade. It's going to be totally different. So when I color correct you, when I color match you, it'll be totally different. I mean, you might wear the same shades. I mean, we might have several, we might have different tones, but I want to make sure that you know that when I color match you, your colors are going to be customized to you. I'm just going to send you an email and just say, these are the best colors. If you want to go shop for it, here's my link. And that's it. How easy is that? The guesswork is gone. All right, let's go ahead and tap in. Okay, I'm still using the small end of this brush. Now, this color that I use on my chin is not my main shade. It's definitely a little darker. It has a little more orange to it because that's what I needed to zap out all that redness. But no worries, because I can lightly, as you can see, going over a lot of area for that one little tap, go over my skin to make it look like it's my skin. Okay, again, tap. Now see, this one's pretty new, so I just really just tap, and this is how much I'm getting on. Not a lot. So then I'm gonna go here because this doesn't have anything on it. Okay. And you see how I'm just kind of I'm making some swipings right here. But now as I go up closer to my eye, I'm just gonna stipple. What is a stipple? This is a stipple where you're just tapping, pressing, moving. And that's a stipple. So I'm not going to move the skin very much. We're just going to stipple around, okay? But where it doesn't move very much, you can just go for it. Go for it. Like so. And then again, we're going to stipple. It's all about the stipple. All right. So far, we have color corrected with a dark color. And again, barely used any, okay? And then we have put on our main shade, which I'm gonna tap in. And up here you could also swipe because your forehead doesn't move much either. So if you're a swiper and you wanna swipe something, this is what we do, okay? All right, so now, and I'm just going underneath the eye, we color corrected. That's another thing. Where you have color corrected, you definitely want to press. okay? Because if you're doing this, you're just gonna slide that color corrector all over the place and it's just not gonna be there anymore. So press where you put your color corrector. Now for me, I've put it pretty much most places on the face. So I have to be careful. Okay. Now that we've done that, we are going to go into, well, we can go into our light shade, but I kind of wait until later to do that one because I'm still working on other things. It's kind of like the extra like little detail work that you want to work on. So we're going to wait on that. So let's go into our contour. Oh, I know, contour. Yes, contour, ladies. It's going to be fabulous. It's going to be fabulous. I'm going to now take this brush, and see that end. This is what I was talking about. We're going to take, I think I was using this in before. So we're just going to take it and we're just going to wiggle. Now, these are creams, but they're drier creams. So if you want to swipe into the contour, go for it. Wiggle it on in, get it on the edge. Okay, see the edge. All right. Now, this is when I have to kind of look where I'm going here and place it on. There we go. Do you see how I just stamped it on? Okay. Now I just went to the top of my ear, okay? And then you just kind of find that bone, that cheekbone, right? Find that cheekbone. Then you just stamp on the color. Now for me, I kind of stamp it on a little higher than the hollow of that cheekbone because, you know, I have a big cheek and I need to kind of make it look a little more narrow, or, you know, how should we say? Not as big. There's other words, but I'm just going to go with that. Okay. Okay, and then press it upwards, go upwards, and that's how you're going to soften it out. If you do this, you're just going to blend it out. I have done that, been there, done that. So I'm here to tell you, don't do what I did. Learn by my mistakes. All right. Now let's do the same thing over here. Find that cheekbone and stamp it on. And see how I'm just kind of moving it back and forth, and then you can move it up like so to soften it up. See, that's nice and soft. Okay. And then whatever you have left on, just do this. As long as there's not very much under your lip, it'll just kind of give that hint of a shadow that makes it look a little fuller. I know, so fun. Okay, let's go and do our jawline. And the jawline, I don't use hardly any. I just barely put anything on my, okay, and then there's, you know, the earring. So lift up your earring, go under the jaw, okay, not on top, under the jawline. And then over to that chin. Okay, now if you have any jowls hanging down, you can just kind of slightly go over the jowl area like so. And that's the only place you'd come up, but just do it very slight and very little. Okay, but that will hide that. And then we always pull it down. All right, let's do the same here. Move the earring, and there we go. See, this is super doable, right? Super doable. And you can always come back to this video and go step by step and do it, you know, a little slower. So there you go. That's the cool thing. That's the cool thing about videos. All right. Now let's do our forehead. Now our forehead, I put, you know, a little bit more on. Okay. And then I just go. And this is where you can swipe again, because again, it's your forehead, so, you know, no big. It's not going to move very much, but this is giving you depth, okay, and dimension. We need dimension. Our face has dimension in it already, but if you just put on the one color, you kind of lose some of that dimension. So we're giving ourselves some dimension, okay? And I put this on up here, and then I just go into my hairline like so. So it looks like, you know, you walk up like that. and we just make sure there isn't any harsh lines, but just keep this part right here nice and light. because we want the focus when people are looking at you right here. So that's why this has a little shadow. Okay. And this is going to stay light and bright. Okay. There, you just did your gorgeous contour, and you can do your nose. Now, that's, you know, something that you can or can't do. It doesn't matter. It's really like, let's see. I just do a little bit. Am I the best nose contour person? Absolutely not. But I will do a little bit. I'll play around with it. You basically just want a couple lines on your face. Let me see. How did I do? Yeah, it's okay. And you can go right up to your eyebrows. And then what really makes the contour is getting in that light shade. Let's go to that light shade. I'm going to squeeze into this brush. Okay. And I'm going to go right down the center. Okay, like so. And then you just kind of move it up with whatever you have left over, because you know we like this all nice and light. And then you can just kind of play with it a little bit. Okay, then take that perfector that's like perfect now and just tap it on, and then you've got your nose all contoured. And you're good to go. All right, moving on to one of my favorite things, because I think the brush is so soft. We're gonna go back to the blush and bronzer and use the fluffy end, and we're gonna do a little swirling of Bella bronzer. We have 3 bronzers. We have a lighter one and a darker one, but this is like the OG. She looks amazing on pretty much most people, I would say. Not all, because nothing's perfect for everybody, but she's pretty darn good. So I put her with a little glow illuminator, which is also really nice all on its own too. So let's just swirl into there. It's like the magic of these two. I'm telling you, it's fabulous. All right, and then we just kind of start putting on a little bit of warmth. Okay, do a little swirl action and just add the warmth. There we go. You just added warmth. Do you see how it's all coming together? Okay, how you're bringing, you've color corrected all the things you didn't like. You added just a little bit of your main shade to kind of make everything all look amazing. Then you've added a little shadow and contour, so things that you want to stand out are standing out, and things that you don't are in the shadows. And then you brought the warmth, the glow, the tan to your face. Look at that. And we haven't even done lip and cheek yet. Okay. We just had to take a moment and just know that you are doing amazing. And this is so doable. Okay. So there you go. And by doing this, after your contour, you have softened this up too, because you're going like this and it's softening that up. Now, if it softens it up too much, you could always add a little bit more contour, but it does soften it. Okay. Let's move down to the next level. So this was my first level, and I did everything on here. And now we're going to move to the second level. Now, usually the second level, I just only have my powders, because I don't want the powders and the creams to mix, because if I drop this, oh my, the powders would probably go into my creams, and that would not be good. But for this purpose, we're going to share, and you can do this for sure. Just don't drop it. Okay. So what I have here is I have my eyeshadows. I have a little demi for underneath my eyes but we're going to do a demi another day. And then I have some lip and cheeks and my powder. This is Vanilla Dust, and I'm going to use it right now. So remember when I color corrected all of this, okay? You see it's starting to crease this a little bit, because this is the oiliest part of your face. So, because it's cream, you just tap it out a little bit like so. Make sure it's all good. And now we do the magic of it's not going to crease. We add a little bit of the vanilla dust, okay? I'm gonna get a little vanilla dust on here, and I'm gonna place it on like so. Okay, there we go. There. Now that's gonna stay. It's gonna be perfect to put on eyeshadows because now it has something to go off of. It has some grit and it has a little bit of powder. So all of that is gonna make it a beautiful palette to put on your eyeshadows, okay? But right now, let's do a little lip and cheek. We wanna finish this first, okay? So we're going back to the blush and bronzer, okay? And I'm using the small end. And I have two pretty colors here. So I'm probably, this is Baby Watermelon and La Cienega. La Cienega is more of a gloss. And and this one's of course, I'm more of a matte, which they call a satin. So I'm gonna do this one first, okay? Tap, tap. We don't want too much. All right, and then I'm gonna start right here on the side and just tap it up. And that's how I'm gonna blend it. Now, this is perfect and fabulous placement right there. But I have big cheeks, so I'm gonna come down a little bit with whatever's left over, just a little bit. And just keep going up, okay? Then you can use your fluffy end and just blend it just a little bit. So you get that really soft look, okay? I'm gonna do that with this side and do the same thing. All right, now let's do a little blending. We'll come down here and then we'll just give it a little soft little finish. See? It's fabulous. All right, let's fix the hair. I need my bangs back. Okay, I think it's time for a little, well, no, let's do a little La Cienega. I was gonna do my lips, but let's put a little here because she's a gloss, so you know she's gonna have a little glow. You know she is, okay? Okay, yes. All right, let me take, this is what I want to show you, lovelies. I'm going to be using this brush. Is it this one? I have two of them. No, it's the other one. I have two of these. These are both multitasker brushes, but you can clearly see which one is for my lips. So I'm going to take the one that I've dedicated to my lips and lips only, and I'm going to put a little bit of my contour on this very, very small little end here, and I'm going to use my compact. I'm going to look at the mirror and just put on using my contour as my lip liner. It's so good, so good. Love it. Now we do have another lip liner called Suede that is lighter and a little softer, which is fabulous too. But this is in my compact today, so this is what I'm using. Because it's called convenience for a reason. I'm like, I don't know, the queen of convenience. I like things nice and simple and convenient. So put a little liner on, soften it up, and then go ahead and put on a lip and cheek. Okay. This one's called Baby Watermelon. She's pretty, huh? Let's see. And then I'm going to top her with a little bit of La Cienega. La Cienega is a gloss that we put here, but you see how she has like a little bit of like a gold flecks to her? Just like a slight. It's like a slight gold shimmer, I think. But she's like my favorite topper. I swear, she is so good. Let me look here. Let me look. Let me see. Okay. Now, if you're a pink person, you will love this lip. If you're not a pink person, then maybe more peachy tones are going to be your jam. But whatever the case may be, you're going to look gorgeous. Okay? That's what it is. You're going to look gorgeous. Now I'm gonna do my eyebrows real quick. I'll be right back. Okay, so I did my eyebrows. I just used this brush we call a line brush and an eyeshadow. Trust and this brush are my favorite things to use to fill in my eyebrows. This is like an ashy brown, so it works perfect for my eyebrows. All right, I'll do eyebrows with you another day. But this gives you an idea of what it all looks like at the end. So you know it's cream makeup, right? So you always need to set that makeup. So go into that powder that you have. Where's my brush? There's a powder brush too, but I'm gonna use this one because I was using this one earlier. We're just gonna go into the vanilla dust, okay? And I'm gonna set my chin. I touch my chin all day long. So this is the area I'm gonna set with a powder, and then I'm gonna do a spray. And, all right, here. It's where I'm wrinkly and I don't want that to shine. Okay, I don't need this to be dewy and gorgeous and like, you know, well, not gorgeous, but you know that dewy, really pretty, glowy look that we all love because, you know, we're getting older. So it's more important to have these days, at least for me. I'm gonna make sure I still have that, but right here, I just really want this part to set, be not too shiny, because those are where my wrinkles are. I don't want to shine those up. Now you go in, use whatever you want. I have several different, oh, where's my Seint one? So we've got the Seint setting spray, we've got Urban Decay All Nighter, and then we've got Charlotte Tilbury, which is fabulous too. And this is pretty new. I barely used it. So I've been using this one because I'm just trying it out and I don't know, I like it. And it's good. Always shake up your setting sprays, okay? And then you want to just douse it. It will dry pretty quickly, but just douse that on, okay? One little spray is probably not going to do it. You want to douse it. And yes, you'll look a little special for a minute. It's okay. It's drying. It's doing its magic. And then it dries and you're good to go. All right? And then if you feel like, okay, well, I'm more of an oily person, then maybe Urban Decay De-Slick would be for you as a setting powder or setting spray. And then if you're also oily, I would go back after I do that and powder where you're oily again, like your T-zone usually, something like that. So there you go. And then it'll just stay on and you will just look glamorous and fabulous. Yeah, with your mature skin that looks young again. Yay! All right, I hope you like this video. Please like and subscribe. And yes, I'll be putting more and more of these out. So thank you for joining me. Mwah. Have the best day ever. Bye.